The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. When Einstein said this quote, he might have been referring to interlocking puzzles. With them, you might be doing the same things over and over, and becoming insane obviously will not help you solve these interlocking puzzles. To successfully solve them, you'll need some special thinking, vivid imagination, deduction skills, patience and motivation, and a lot of trial and error. In extreme cases, you will even need a program called BurrTools, which will help you solve these puzzles. More on BurrTools later in the video. Luckily, most of these skills can be improved by solving easier interlocking puzzles, so you're covered up for that. As always, jumping outright to the hardest difficulty is not recommended unless you want to go insane the Einstein way. Interlocking puzzles are one of the most classic examples of mechanical puzzle. It had gone through tons of development through the years, and lately interlocking puzzles have become extremely refined and elegant. And also, with the appearance of 3D printers, they've become even more accessible to the wider public. Here are some basic things you will stumble upon in most interlocking puzzles. First is a number of pieces. It can be anywhere from 3 to 50 plus pieces in the puzzle. The pieces interlock with each other. They are built in a certain way that makes them lock each other in place without any external mechanism. When the pieces are locked this way, there's a limited amount of moves that you can do with the puzzle. Mostly in interlocking puzzles, you will only be able to use linear moves unless stated otherwise. When more than one piece moves in one direction, that's still considered as one move. And solution level. In interlocking puzzles, solution level is something quite different, because when I say that my Hanayama is a level 5 puzzle out of 10, that's one thing. But when I say that my interlocking puzzle is level 5, that means that the first piece takes 5 moves to remove. That means that if I have a level 100 puzzle, which is interlocking, that means you need 100 steps to remove the first piece. Interlocking puzzles come in different ways, and I'll explain some of the basic types of interlocking puzzles right here in this video. The first subtype is classic Burrs. These puzzles were first seen in the late 17th century. Burrs have started as a 6-piece symmetrical construction. Each stick had square notches in the middle of them that allow them to interlock with each other. When solving a classic Burr, you will understand immediately that assembly is much more difficult than disassembly. Because disassembly is pretty straightforward sometimes, you just need to do some trial and error. But to assemble a Burr after you disassemble it, if you mix the pieces, it's a very tough challenge. And not many can do it, and not many should do it as well, and more on that later. The best value for money sets of Burrs are Burr sets. These are sets with 12, 16, 24, 36 and more sticks of Burrs. These sticks can be combined into one puzzle, one at a time, and you have thousands of different combinations for puzzles this way. Another type of Burr you will see is a caged Burr. In a caged Burr, you will have a construction that's caged inside kind of a cage. Okay, you will have a Burr inside a cage, and the pieces of the Burr interact with the cage and make a very tough challenge. Because you have this cage, the moves you have are very limited, which actually makes the Burr a little bit different when classic Burrs. This cage can block movements but not swear words. This will come out of your mouth increasingly quickly. Similar Burrs to cage Burrs are zoo Burrs. Burrs where you have a piece that goes inside the Burr and moves, like the Boo Burr I solved if you saw that. Before I move on to the next type of interlocking puzzles, you should know that there's a program called BurrTools which helps you to solve Burr puzzles. The way it works, you have a file called XM Puzzle, which is a file that has the Burr information or the interlocking puzzle informations in voxels. Voxels are three-dimensional pixels that are used to make an interlocking puzzle. And basically, once you input the XM puzzle file into the BurrTools application, you can see the solution of the bar, you can see the disassembly, and you can also design your own Burr puzzles using this application. The program is pretty easy to use with very high level interlocking puzzles. You will sometimes use it. I use it all the time when I need to assemble a difficult Burr puzzle, and it's okay because these puzzles are supposed to be fun. Once you're not feeling the fun anymore, you just pick out that BurrTools, input the file, and you're good to go. Another notable type of interlocking puzzles are coordinate motion puzzles. These puzzles are basically a couple of pieces that move in one motion in order to disassemble the puzzle. These kind of puzzles are very satisfying to solve, watch, and repeat. Assembling them can be quite difficult dexterity wise because you need to hold all kinds of pieces at the same time and to do one very specific movement to combine them back together. These puzzles are generally easier than normal interlocking puzzles, non-coordinate motion ones, And the most notable designer and maker of coordinate motion puzzles is, in my opinion, Vinko. It's a Czech puzzle designer and maker that makes mostly coordinate motion puzzles. They are very affordable and a good place to try your luck with your first coordinate puzzle. Another concept in interlocking puzzles that's not quite a puzzle type is themed puzzles. Some designers like to make their interlocking puzzles in the theme of something. An example, Stefan Baumgartner makes a lot of puzzles that are themed. It can be a sword, it can be anything. So these puzzles are a bit more easy to assemble once you disassemble them, because you know where each piece has to be in the final position. And yeah, that's all about interlocking puzzles. In my opinion, they are very important to explore early on when you're starting to puzzle, because these puzzles are an essential type of puzzles in the whole puzzle world. You should try them. The best way to tackle this type of puzzles is by starting with normal 6-piece bursts that are symmetrical, normal, and simple. Then build up your way to more complex and mind-blowing designs. Just try your luck with these puzzles. I believe every single puzzler should try at least one interlocking puzzle in his life. You have nothing to lose. This is not a very popular type of puzzle. In my opinion, it's seriously underrated. Basically, one of the appeals in interlocking puzzles is that it's extremely fun to resolve them. The movements are satisfying, you play with it, you feel the puzzle, whether it's plastic or wooden. I generally enjoy wooden interlocking puzzles more than plastic. Once you solve a Burr puzzle, you will usually resolve it at least once more. Try a Burr puzzle, try a simple Burr puzzle, and get building up from there. The most simple Burr puzzles are very cheap, you can find them literally anywhere in your nearest puzzle store, but if you want to try something a bit more serious, I can also recommend, just ask me in the comments what would you want to try and I'll help you with what I can. That's it for this ultimate guide installation. I'm trying to make more ultimate guide videos, but these are the most complex videos to make, so that might take me some time. Either way, this was it for today's interlocking puzzles video. I hope you learned something new or found a new puzzle. Thank you very much for watching. Please leave a like if you did enjoy this kind of content, and I'll see you guys next time.